Welcome to the Equinety Podcast, where horse owners just like you share their incredible Equinety stories and how Equinety is changing their horses' lives. Whether you're searching for something to give your performance horse better focus, faster recovery, and more stamina, or in the extreme case where all hope seems lost, give your horse what it needs to help heal at a cellular level, you'll find it here. So jump in on today's episode to hear how Equinety is helping horses worldwide. Now, welcome your host, John Dowdy.
All right, hello and welcome to another Equinety Podcast. This week we're going to have Rheanna Wolk on from Missouri, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know Missouri, would be the show me state. And Rheanna, let's just get right into this. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you. And with Missouri being the show me state, and I understand, and we'll get a little bit more into this, with one of your horses that you have tried every supplement or possible thing that could help your horses with abscesses. The show me state definitely comes into play when you found the Equinety product.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about, you have two horses and you originally found the Equinety product for your Foxtrotter. Tell us what was going on with your Foxtrotter and what you were trying to solve there and what happened there.
Okay. When we would go out to take care of the horses, he would have major leg cramps in the one leg. And after seeing the ads, I thought, well, we should try this and see if it helps his cramping. He was on it for probably 6 weeks, and his cramps still were there, but he got really shiny. In the meantime, I thought I would try it for the other horse who has had many abscesses in the past and thought I would use it as a preventative.
Right. So with your Foxtrotter, and this happens not, I would say not that often, but because the Equinety is amino acids and what it's specifically doing is stimulating the pituitary gland to release the necessary hormones which help the body heal at a cellular level. So what you found with your Foxtrotter in over a 6 week period, he was still having the cramps, so it didn't help in that area specifically. But what you did find, his coat was soft and shiny. His overall build and everything was filled out and looked really good from that aspect.
Yes. It really made him look. It made him look very pretty, but he just didn't seem to recover from the cramping.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And at the same time, and then this is really going to be the meat of the story of this podcast, is your 29-year-old who has had a plethora of issues through his life. So give us a little background on him, because although this wasn't the initial reason why you purchased the product, you thought, well, what could it hurt? We'll give it a shot and see what happens. But tell us a little bit of the history and the issues that you've dealt with him.
Oh, yes. Several years ago, he ended up getting an abscess, and the vet came to check him, and he said he's just prone to these sort of infections and things, and that I would be dealing with this a lot. So we tried so many different, supplements and different things that I found on the internet and in catalogs, and nothing ever seemed to work. So while my Foxtrotter was on this, I thought I would try the other one on Equinety, and he was getting really perky and acting a lot better. And I was noticing a huge difference with him. Unfortunately, I let my supplement run out.
What?
And and I let it go for a little bit, and in the meantime, I was in the process of reordering, but he developed another abscess. And when I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
When I ended up getting the Equinety in the mail, I started giving him the supplement, and at that point, his abscess had already showed itself. So usually it takes him 2 weeks to recover from an abscess or more. He just is down for a very long time with this ailment, and after starting him back on the supplement after having the gap, he recovered in 2 days, which just completely blew my mind.
Wow. So a healing time of a couple weeks or more down to 2 days.
Yes.
That's quite miraculous.
Yeah, I mean, it made me a true believer. I mean, before I thought, well, it's at least making them shiny and soft, but until then, this just proves that it does work.
Right. Yeah, because in dealing with abscesses, I know there's a lot of people out there that, horses can be prone to this type of thing, and, it is, your horse is out of commission. And, we've had a couple other podcasts dealing with abscesses along with several other issues. And one of the reasons I was excited about this one is because this was, one of the main things that you've been dealing with for quite some time. Not to mention the fact that he's 29, and as you put it earlier to me, he's just kind of existing.
Yes.
So tell us about that. I mean, he is 29, so he's not really interacting with the other horses or anything, just kind of is there.
Right, yeah. He just didn't seem to have an interest in anything in life, or even sometimes eating his dinner,
Mm-hmm.
So when he started on this, he just started getting perkier. He started actually, if the other horses took off trotting up the field, he'd join them, and I haven't seen him trot in years. So this kind of gave him an entirely new lease at life. So it's been neat to watch him just transform under the supplement, and it hasn't even been that long that he's been on it, but I'm a believer and I'm going to keep him on it.
Right. So he's been on it now about 4 months, and now in addition to the abscesses and things like that, and although you haven't had him tested, he has shown signs of Cushing's. And what are some of the other ailments and different things that he's dealt with?
Just loss of muscle tone. He's had a lot of, in fact, every year we've had to almost shave him with his longer hair, by springtime. And he's just not progressing the way other horses in the field are progressing with him throughout the year. But with this, he's back to having shorter hair. He's soft. He's perky. He looks great.
Yeah. So living life again. That's great.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with it.
Yeah. Now, when's the last time he had an abscess?
Let's see. I'm thinking when the one that developed, you mean the one before the one that I just treated him with, the Equinety? Or?
Right. Well, let me ask you this question. How often was he getting abscesses prior to Equinety, and then now that he's been on Equinety?
He would get roughly 2 a year, and it seemed like every spring and every fall something would happen.
Mm-hmm.
And, I figured it was probably going to happen by springtime, and here I let Equinety drop off of his, supplements, and,
Right.
As soon as I do, then of course he starts to develop one, but I'm so glad that I was able to jump on that and get it back on track, because
Sure.
he just recovered from that so quickly.
Yeah, within 2 days. Well, I tell you, for those listening in for the first time, if you're trying to figure out maybe a possible solution for your horse that has abscesses, and again, we've got a couple other podcasts talking about this, you might want to give the Equinety a try and take it from Rheanna out of Missouri, the Show Me State. A true believer now, would you say?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. This stuff has made a huge difference for all of us.
Great. That's fantastic. Well, Rheanna from Missouri, thank you so much for taking the time to share your Equinety story, and please keep us updated.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's all for this episode of the Equinety Podcast. For more information on purchasing Equinety, be sure to visit our website at teamequinety.com, where you'll also find product information as well as more testimonials on how others have seen amazing results by implementing Equinety into their horse's supplement regime. We'll have more stories on how Equinety is helping horses worldwide right here on a future episode of the Equinety Podcast.